Welcome to this language exam. When the exam starts, I will start the tape recorder and you have to say your name and your candidate number. Okay, let's start with...
My name is Esther Vörös, and my candidate number is 123.
Okay, can I see your ID card?
Of course.
Okay, thank you very much. Esther Vörös, it's 2. Thank you.
My name is Máté Tóth, and my candidate number is 240.
240, and also check the identity. Okay, thank you very much. So welcome again. My name is Matt Sobert. I will give you the interview, and my colleague's name is Felcső Hanna, and she's going to assess your performance. Okay, do you know each other?
Not really well.
Not really well. Okay, then before we start the exam, I'd like to ask you to say a few words about yourself and ask a few questions about the other person. Okay?
Would you start it?
Yeah. My name is Esther Vörös. I study Hungarian and English at the university. This is my 4th year. I have a sister. I live in Pécs.
Okay. My name is Máté, and I live in Teskend, in Zala. I'm here, it's my first semester in Pécs. I have a brother and a sister. They are both older than me. And that's all.
Maybe a few questions about, you know, the
Do you have a pet?
hobby, pet? Huh?
No, but I really like cats. But unfortunately, I and my roommates can't have one.
I see. Well, I used to have a dog, and now I have a cat.
Oh.
I like cats too. Do you have any hobby?
Actually, I don't really have. I really like reading, and watching movies or series, but I don't have any special hobbies. And do you have?
I don't think I get into my hobbies. I used to play airsoft. It's a sport game, kind of. Well.
Okay, alright, okay, so I'd like to ask one of you now to pick a number, because this will determine our next task. Who is brave enough?
Really? Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much. And this is 41. Okay, number 41. Let me find it. Number 41. Okay, hobby and work. So in the first part of the exam, this is going to be a conversation. Okay, so you have to have a conversation with each other, and the topic is hobby and work. You know, many people say that their hobby their work is their hobby, and you know, many people say that it's a very good thing indeed that, you know, if you like your job almost like as a hobby. And you can talk about that. You can talk about extreme hobbies. You know, you can talk about very, very strange hobbies that you have heard of, or anything like that. Okay, so this is a topic, and please have a conversation about that.
So,
Will you check?
Okay.
well, I was talking about my hobby earlier. Basically, I do think that everything I do is my hobby, because I try to do things that I like, and I try to make them maybe my work, so that's my kind of way to earn money. And basically, I used to play a lot of computer games, and that's how I started to learn English, and I'm here learning English literature, so I'm trying to make that hobby into my work. And what about you? Do you have any?
Yeah. As I mentioned it before, my hobby is reading, and there's a connection between my studies and reading, because I study literature and linguistics. And yes, I think that in an ideal case, your hobby is your work, but I think it's not always possible, just if you are lucky enough.
Well, I did find some smaller tasks that are not really satisfying to do in English. For example, somebody may like speaking English but not really doing well in translating, or maybe learning the grammar can be hard. And you mentioned you study Hungarian literature, right?
Yes.
And do you have any not really wanted aspects?
It's a good question, actually. I think I don't really have problems with literature. If I have some, then I have with linguistics, because I studied too. And I don't really like syntax, English syntax, because I used to study Hungarian syntax, and it was better or well-formed than the English one. And now it's hard to me study the English syntax, because there are several differences, and I know another system.
Well, what came to my mind is that I don't really have like the dream job in my mind at this time. For example, I don't really know anything specific to choose as a job. Do you have like any idea about your future dream job, maybe?
Yeah, actually I have. Maybe because I'm older than you in the college system. I would like to be an editor, maybe. Yeah, it would be a dream job to me. Or I can imagine that teaching can also be a dream job.
Well, teaching is really, I think it's hard, and maybe it's well, it's kind of for me like a choice. If I can make the choice, like I become a teacher, and maybe that won't really satisfy me. I mean, it's not really my dream job, but I don't really know the jobs to choose from, which I like. I mean, it's quite, like playing never can be your hobby. I mean, you cannot really make living out of playing computer games all day.
Well, who knows?
Actually, that's a kind of job nowadays, but I won't go in. That's streaming and internet stuff.
So don't you have any plans for the future?
Not quite yet. Not any specific plans. I try to explore the world of the English language, basically, so anything that comes with that can be an option.
Okay, do you know anybody who has an extreme kind of hobby? So maybe you can talk about the world of extreme hobbies, you know, or strange hobbies, you know.
Have you ever done something extreme, like others consider it extreme?
I think not really. And you?
I think I was once rafting, you know, the wild water, basically just sailing down in a wild and really fast river, and it was kind of extreme, but not that, like bungee jumping is very extreme to me. It's really, this is madness, like jumping down, or like parachute jumping. It's and I actually never really knew any place that you can do it in Hungary.
Actually, I always wanted to try bungee jumping.
Really?
Yep, because in summer, in festivals, there's opportunity to try it, I think. But the truth is that usually I didn't have enough money to enjoy the festival and try to bungee jumping.
Maybe you can be a bungee jumping instructor as a dream job.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, nowadays I prefer simple things, or I mean, I enjoy when I can stay at home and read and just have a rest. And but when I was a teenager, I had this kind of images or ideas.
Amateur art is also a form of hobby. You know, many people paint, for example, or compose music at home, like just simple songs, for example. This could be a hobby, just playing music for fun. So what do you think about that? We can talk about this too.
Do you have any?
An idea came to my mind, but it's a little bit similar, but a little bit different. I have a friend who studies art, and she will be a sculptor. And actually I don't really understand her because it's a 5-year program at the university, but she can't know what will be in the future, or can she, or she can live from just making sculptures.
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe that's where hobby and work became separated. And like I used to draw and still draw today. Like I have some boring classes and I draw. I sometimes make little poems, kind of things. And I started my whole study at like a engineering kind of school. So
And why
basically,
did you change it?
I came to this English literature because like engineering wasn't my thing. It wasn't like I cannot talk with robots and things, and basically my whole like idea about art and like I do play music, and I soon realized that I'm not a really mathematician person, so I started discovering arts in a deeper sense.
But actually, I think there are several aspects. If we think of the ideal or the dream job, because it can be something which you like, and a workplace where you can earn a lot of money, and where there are good colleagues, and I'm not sure that there's a workplace where
You can do exactly what you like.
yeah, and there are
Because I know
kind
that.
people, and
Yeah.
you will have enough money, and
It's like that's what I think about hobbies. Like they help us define what we are. So that's
it's a
why
nice idea.
that's why we have to take care of our hobbies.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's move on to the next part of the exam, which is a monologue. Yes. Okay, so you have to speak one after each other. Okay, and the topic, as you can see, is public life. Public life, and these pictures help you. These pictures are here to give you ideas what you can talk about in connection with public life. Okay, can you see them well? All right, who would like to start? Anybody can start.
To start it.
Maybe you can.
Okay.
Okay.
So these pictures are fairly different from each other. Well, I think I want to talk about like the third one that came to my mind, like animal subjects and animal science, using animals as basic lab rats and testing anything. And some may call it cruelty, but I think that can cause like a good for animals too. I mean, we can prevent animal diseases, and like our public life depends on such animal tests, and whole laboratories are basically just finding out stuff that we are using in everyday life. And, on the second picture, basically our public life is giving water to African children. There are a lot of lack of water, and
Well, let me just give you a little hand. Okay, so public life is a very wide field of topics. You know, public life includes many, many different things. So you can talk about, so this is about, you know, helping the third world, for example. This is about animal testing. That's about films. So, you know, don't concentrate on pictures. Try to speak about public life as such. Okay.
Such public life. Like basically it's our culture. I mean, we learned that culture is our everyday life, and there are many aspects, our work, our free time, our hobbies, and basically everything, helping, money making. Actually, when we wake up in the morning and we look out of our windows, we can say our public life, and before our eyes just basic flowing, everything, informations. And I think living is living can be made interesting if we open our eyes to this public life. Basically, living everything as an extraordinary feeling, and even the slightest help we give can be our film award, or like we can feel heroes in our everyday lives. And basically, if everyone can find what they like about their life, can we make worthwhile living. And
Okay, I think it's enough. Maybe we can get back to you, Martin. Esther?
I think I will speak about a totally different aspect of public life, because when I read these words, the public life, the first thing which came to my mind was the media, because this is the scene where the public life exists. And in the first picture we can see an Oscar winner actors, and movie stars are usually are on TV. But I think if you are a famous person, the most important thing is that why you are famous. Because on the third picture there's a person who does voluntary work, and I think we can't so the celebrities and people who does voluntary works cannot be stand in the same paper, or I don't know. And as Matti mentioned it before, public life is actually is all over the world, because the mass culture or media became well spread, and everybody use Facebook, for example, or Tumblr or Twitter and similar things.
Okay. Matti, any
what it came to my mind, that actors are actually living a public life that is pre-written, and basically it's our one of our outcome. It can be. It's basically stories about our world, and even the public life differs in countries, but everyone is living one type of public life, and we can only see ours, and maybe through the media we can see others' lives as well.
Okay, thank you. Esther, anything else you would like to add?
Yes. I thought about actors or famous people, but I can also speak about politicians, because their situation almost the same, because they are always in the media, and we know about them everything. And I think actually it's a bad thing, because these people should be similar to us. So if I don't like that other people know my private life, then I shouldn't know about the politicians' private life too.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. This is your example.